JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, motorcyclist killed in crash in Clarendon. The Four Parts Police in Clarendon have charged the driver of a pickup truck with causing death by dangerous driving, following a fatal collision along the Clarendon Park Main Road on Thursday afternoon. Charge is 45-year-old Gary Blackwood of a St. Elizabeth address. Construction worker, 33-year-old Andrew Clark, died from injuries he sustained after he was hit from his motorcycle while on his way home from work shortly after 4 p.m. Clark, who is from the Decoy Community toll gate, was struck by a Ford Ranger pickup truck traveling westerly along the Clarendon Park Main Road in the vicinity of the Cool Oasis gas station. According to reports, the driver of the pickup was in the process of overtaking when he collided with Clark, who was traveling in the opposite direction. Clark was taken to the Maple Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Nicaraguans and Jamaican held in Manchester ganja bust. 2 Nicaraguan men and a Jamaican man have been arrested following a second multi-million-dollar drug bust in 2 days in Manchester. The police said they have seized just under $9 million worth of ganja in the parish between Wednesday, April 21, and Thursday, April 22. On Thursday, the police said more than $5 million worth of ganja was seized in Spalding, Manchester. The police said that about 6:40 p.m., the Narcotics Police, supported by members of the Manchester Division, were on an anti-narcotics operations in the area when they intercepted a Nissan bus with one man aboard. During a search of the vehicle, they found 26 white knitted plastic bags, all containing compressed ganja. The combined weight of the drugs is approximately 1,379 pounds, with an estimated street value of $5,516,000. The drugs and the bus were seized and the driver was taken into custody. His name is being withheld pending an interview in the presence of his attorney, the police said. Less than 24 hours before, another anti-narcotics operation in New Forest District, Manchester, resulted in the seizure of 857 pounds of ganja, worth an estimated $3,428,000. The Narcotics Police reportedly carried out the operation about 10 p.m. on Wednesday, April 21, with the support of the Manchester Operational Support Team. The 2 Nicaraguan men and the Jamaican man were arrested, and the sheets with the personal information of individuals residing overseas were also seized in the operation. The identities of the men arrested are being withheld. Police report 121 murders in March. Police data shows that 121 murders were recorded last month. This surpassed 120 murders in January. Jamaica has so far recorded 434 murders this year, a 4% increase over the same period last year. 6 persons were killed on Thursday. Area 1 headquarters, which covers the corporate area, has recorded 169 cases of homicide. This is the highest among the 5 police headquarters. Food vendor shot and injured in Germantown, St. James. A food vendor who was shot and injured by armed men when he went to purchase grown provisions in Germantown, St. James on Thursday morning remains at hospital in serious condition. The police reported that the victim traveled from a different section of the parish to Germantown to purchase grown provisions which he intended to sell at the market. On reaching the location, he was ambushed by armed men and shot. It is also reported that the vendor was robbed of the cash that he had in his possession to purchase the items. The police were summoned, and upon arrival, the wounded vendor was rushed to hospital where he was treated and admitted. Indicom probes killing of 3 men by the police. The Independent Commission of Investigations, Indicom, has commenced a probe into the killing of 3 men who lost their lives in an alleged shootout with the police on Thursday in the small farming community of Bronte Common in Kilmarnock District on the Westmoreland-St. Elizabeth border. Up to late yesterday, the police had not released the identities of the slain men. However, based on information from residents in the community, 2 of the deceased are said to be from Whitehouse, Westmoreland, while the others believed to be from a Spanish Town address in St. Catherine. Reports by the police are that on Thursday evening, a group of armed men held up a motorist in Whitehouse and robbed him of cash and his Toyota Axia motor car before making good their escape in the stolen vehicle. The victim of the robbery reported the matter to the police. About 11:20 p.m., the police received information that a vehicle fitting the description of the stolen motor car was seen heading from White House towards Kilmarnock. The police went in search of the vehicle, which was intercepted in Bronte Common. On seeing the police, the men reportedly opened gunfire on them. The lawmen took evasive action and returned fire, and a running gun battle ensued. When the shooting subsided, the lawmen carried out a search of the surrounding area. During their search, all three men were found suffering from gunshot wounds. The police said a fourth man managed to escape in bushes. The lawmen seized one illegal firearm and removed a container of gasoline and several cigarette lighters from the stolen motor vehicle. The three injured men were taken to a medical facility where they were pronounced dead. Extensive search of the area resulted in the arrest of the fourth man, who was found in a house in a nearby community. Yesterday, the residents were not pleased that the robbers had ended up in their community. And if something like this had take place in our community, Kenrick Allen, a farmer from the community, said, "Me say me in a bed with my wife, and all of a sudden a pure gunshot mirror fire. So me and my wife have to hide under the bed because we never know what take place." Dave Lewin, the director of complaints at Indicom, said that a team of investigators visited the location and carried out an investigation. "We are fully aware of the incident and can acknowledge that 3 men have been fatally shot, but I am unable to provide any update at this early stage, as our team of investigators are still out in the field," said Lewin. Hanover faces burial site challenges. With the public cemeteries now running out of space and backyard burials all but completely outlawed, residents in Hanover are becoming increasingly worried about what will become of deceased persons in the near future if this grave situation is not resolved quickly. The situation is particularly concerning in the eastern section of the parish, where the premier cemetery in Hopewell, which is also used by persons from neighboring St. James, is seemingly only a few funerals away from being completely filled out. In raising concern about the situation in Hopewell, at the recent monthly meeting of the Hanover Municipal Corporation, HMC, President of the Hanover Parish Development Committee, HPDC, Petra Foster, says she is constantly being bombarded with questions about what is happening at that cemetery. A real concern coming out of Hopewell is that the citizens are concerned about the Hopewell Cemetery. They are saying that it's over 10 years since the Sandy Bay Cemetery was declared full and subsequently closed, and permission was given by the HMC for burials from that area to be done in the Hopewell Cemetery, said Foster, in suggesting that the HMC is not doing enough to establish an alternative cemetery for the Sandy Bay area. Sandy Bay, a fishing village located approximately 6 kilometers from the town of Hopewell, is one of the larger communities in the Western Parish, and its former cemetery was shared with several adjoining districts. The residents of Hopewell and its adjoining districts are fearful that burial spots at the Hopewell Cemetery are getting less, so they are wondering what they're expected to do with their family members when they are deceased, as it is obvious that the Hopewell Cemetery will be full soon, explained Foster, as she urged the HMC to address the situation urgently. Devon Brown, the councillor for the Hopewell Division, said he was fully behind the sentiments expressed by Foster, adding that something needs to be done urgently as it relates to the Hopewell Cemetery. "We do not want to sit back and wait until the cemetery is closed in its entirety," said Brown, who urged the HMC to immediately make representation to the owners of lands adjoining the cemetery with a view of purchasing additional lands to expand the cemetery. Checks have revealed that some available lands in proximity to the Hopewell Cemetery are now being occupied by informal settlers. However, according to Brown, some of the occupied lands are not suitable for burials as it is rocky terrain, but there are also suitable sections which could be used if the settlers are removed. Meanwhile, Chief Executive Officer of the HMC, David Gardner, says ongoing discussions are taking place at the HMC in regard to the situation at the Hopewell Cemetery. He went on to ask the HPDC chairman to assist the corporation in identifying the owners of lands adjoining the cemetery so that the process of seeking to acquire the lands can be initiated. It should be noted that this is not the first time that the matter of the Hopewell Cemetery has been raised with the HMC, as back in 2018, the Hopewell Citizens Association also brought the matter to public attention. 225 new COVID cases, 4 deaths. Jamaica recorded 225 new cases of COVID-19 and 4 additional deaths yesterday, bringing the total number of cases to 44,867 and the death toll to 756. According to the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the deaths included 3 men in Kingston and St. Andrew, ages 64, 82, and 33. A 15-year-old girl from St. Anne also died. Of the newly reported cases, there were 122 females and 103 males with ages ranging from 11 days to 98 years. The cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew, 52, St. Catherine, 41, St. Anne, 29, Manchester, 26, St. James, 17, St. Mary and St. Thomas, 13 each, Clarendon, 10, St. Elizabeth, 8, Westmoreland and Portland, 6 each, and Trelawney, 4. The country recorded 116 recoveries, bringing the total number of recoveries to 20,391. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.